We're serving tradition right here in my kitchen, from Fresno to the world. Hi, my name is Julianne, but you can call me Jewel, and welcome to my kitchen. I am on a quest to learn the secrets to great Armenian home cooking from the people in my community who know what's what. I'm really excited because today I have a guest chef coming, and her name is Jamee Moltini. Her maiden name is Ashjian, and she's going to teach me her recipe to Armenian stuffed peppers, which we call dolma. And I'm excited to see how she does it because she says she cooks it on the stovetop, and I've only ever baked mine. So we'll see what happens. She's here. Let's go get her. Hey.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So, you're cooking.
I am cooking stuffed peppers, dolmas. I don't know, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's tasty. We'll start with just chopping some onions.
So you've got a half an onion here?
I have a half an onion here.
Okay.
And we are going to make, well, we'll plan on making 4 because usually about a pound of beef per 4 peppers, depending on the size. So we'll just start from there and see where we end up.
All right.
So to the bowl, we will add our beef.
Okay, so we've got a pound of ground beef.
And I always like to use 80-20 because you like a little fat, some flavor.
This is indulgent using 80-20, girl. I don't know.
We'll throw our onions in there.
Okay.
Oops, lost a couple.
So what kind of spices do you use in yours?
Salt and pepper, granulated garlic, and oregano. I mean, but again, I don't really follow recipes. They're just kind of guidelines.
I have to learn a recipe, you know, but you can just make it up, can't you?
Well, kind of. I just don't have the patience to follow recipes.
You don't put these back on?
No.
Okay.
And you can use these if you wanted to. I mean, if you want to use every bit of the pepper, obviously you can.
My mom always made little like tops for them.
Oh, how funny.
But my mom always baked hers. And here we're doing yours on the stovetop.
And you can bake them, but I like to have the flexibility of getting to them quick and basting them.
Oh,
so instead of opening up the oven and pulling it all out. Now, I always like to find, and you did do good.
Thank you, I tried, right?
Flat ones.
I know. So, I thought if I get some that are not going to stand up straight, I might hear about it, so.
Well, they fall. They fall over in the pan. Okay, so we'll set these aside. And then to the onions and the meat, I add a half a can, large can of tomato sauce.
Okay, so that's like a 32-ounce can, I think, right?
Is it? Or if I can't have my glasses. 28, I believe.
Okay, 28.
And then here's the pan. We'll cook it in, and I add the rest of it to this.
Oh, interesting. Okay, all right.
I'm knocking things around here.
Okay.
And then we've got our garlic. And you can use fresh garlic if you want. This just is easy. And again, I can't tell you how much I use. I just kind of eyeball it.
I feel like that's at least a tablespoon, maybe 2.
And I like a lot.
I do too.
I'm Armenian. We stink all the time. Okay, and then a little bit of oregano that you just kind of
look at you, you're
crush up. And then can I use this salt and pepper right here?
Yes, of course. I'll get you a little bit better of salt. I think this one's a better salt shaker. Here you go.
Perfect. See how fast it comes out. Yeah.
It doesn't like fly out.
Okay.
So probably it was about like a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and salt together. Not too much.
And then we mix.
Have you noticed that it seems like most Armenian dishes we mix with our hands?
No, but Armenian people talk with their hands. So like Italian, so it doesn't surprise me. Okay, so now we'll add the rice in. You can cook the rice ahead of time.
Okay.
And then it doesn't take as long to cook in the pot.
Okay.
Which is what we did today. But you also can just add about a half a cup to a cup of rice to the meat, not cooked.
But in this case, we took a cup of jasmine rice and 2 cups of water, brought it to a boil, then let it simmer covered for about 20 minutes. So that it's
just like you would normally make rice.
Okay. So now you're going to add it.
Now I'm going to add it, and instead of using my hand to get in there, I'll take the rice. That's about right.
Okay, looks good.
Put that back, and then we'll mix this up a little bit more.
With our hands. Yep. Okay.
And then you stuff the peppers. And we're probably gonna need this one as well
because I thought, you know what, they're not huge and we may with the rice.
Yeah. So then we just stuff away. And you just kind of, pat it a little bit, like a little mound.
Oh, nice. Oh, how cute.
And then in the pot it goes.
Okay.
And again, it just, there's no right or wrong way of stuffing. You can either serve it with cracker bread, which is what I brought, or pilaf. So, it's a meal.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah.
So usually if you have a side salad and some pilaf or cracker bread, that's plenty.
Enough, yeah. Do you cook every night?
I do.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much. I'm pretty consistent about it. At this point, once we'll add the rest of the sauce, you don't have to cook it right now. So you can make this ahead of time and stuff it in the fridge or just leave it on the stovetop for a little while and, bring it, if you're gonna cook it the next night, obviously put it in the refrigerator, but it's something that can be done ahead of time.
Oh, that's good to know for, if you're going to entertain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
The one thing I don't like about entertaining is like doing this while people are over, right?
Yeah, but you've got a great house for it. So you can, you can cook and talk at the same time.
Yeah, I have a hard time though because remember, I'm a recipe follower. I'm not like you.
Well, then this is something you can make ahead of time.
Yes, I would do
and
that.
then visit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this recipe filled 5 of these peppers.
Okay.
Also, you can do this with cabbage. You can do it with zucchini. You can stuff tomatoes.
Do you ever roll this particular recipe up into grape leaves?
I have before.
Will you come and show me that?
I would love to.
Or will you make yalanchy with me?
Yes.
Yay. Okay.
So I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Now, once that is done, we're gonna make the broth. So you take just your open can of tomato sauce, kind of wash it all down. I take about a half a can of water.
Okay.
Throw it in. Here. We want it to fill a little bit more.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and grab that other can of tomato sauce.
Halfway, huh? Just under.
Yeah.
And do you put any salt in now or no? So it's really not that salty.
No, because you want to add it later on. Yeah, I could salt it now, but you just never know how many people, because I did salt it already, but some people may not like it as salty.
Yeah.
Plus I don't know, did we get unsalted? Oh, we got unsalted butter, perfect. So,
great.
Yeah. And now I'm going to add a little more of the water just so it's not so tomato-y.
Okay.
Because really we just want a broth.
Okay, so in the end we used about 1 full can of tomato and 1 full can of...
Actually we used a can and a half.
And then about 1 full can
1 full can of water.
Okay.
So we'll turn it on. And we wanted to get to a boil. Now, in all the recipes that I've done, or not that I've done, but that I've read,
Yes.
not a lot of people use lemon.
Oh, I love lemon.
My grandmother loved lemon, so she put lemon on everything.
Okay, good.
So I put lemon juice in here.
Okay, yeah, that's how I like it. I like tangy food.
And that's something that you can always adjust.
Okay.
Also, a little bit of butter.
And you've got it on like medium-high heat?
I've got it on, medium-high,
Okay.
about that. Butter.
Okay.
And I like a lot of butter.
Okay, me too.
So we'll do just a little more than half. And I just kind of cube it up a little bit so I spread it throughout the pan. And then just plop it in. And again, it can be done up until this point and put in the fridge.
Okay.
So I always kind of straighten up the peppers a little bit so they all, and they will have a tendency to roll. They will, and you just kind of, but you can put them together.
Oh yeah, now they're touching.
Now they're touching.
Like they're hugging.
Yep.
Okay.
That is it. Cover and bring it to a boil. As it's cooking, you'll baste, and the broth gets on top of the meat here, and it coats it and helps it cook and
flavors
it. And it just makes it yummy. And that's it. We'll just let it go for a little while. So what are we drinking here?
Okay, well, so I figured we had a little time while we're waiting for the peppers to cook. So we're gonna have some, well, we call it ohi, but I think the Lebanese call it arak. This bottle came from Glendale. But I know people make it in Fresno, and I know because they have like home distilleries, and they have given it to my dad before. We used to drink it homemade, but this, again, we don't know anyone currently who makes it.
Do they sell it in Fresno?
Only under how it's distributed, like Arak. But you'd have to get someone who has their own distillery set up at their house to give you theirs.
Kind of like moonshine?
Exactly. Well, I just love it.
I can tell.
Oh. And so maybe
funny.
if someone's watching this, they can reach out and make a note on julesarmeniankitchen.com and tell us that they can help teach us. That would be really fun.
Every cooking show needs a signature drink.
Well, this has got to be ours.
Here you go.
Here you
Cheers.
Go. Cheers.
And you just sip it or shoot it?
Oh, I would sip this.
Oh, you sip? No shooting. And can you do it chilled or?
I have Lebanese friends, and they serve it in a rocks glass with water and ice, and then the color looks like milk. I prefer it straight up. What do you think?
I like it. And I'm not a huge fan of black licorice.
Oh, that anise is so good.
Yeah, but this is good.
So is it time to baste?
It is time to baste.
Okay, so what do you do?
So lift the lid, and you'll see how it got a nice boil, and you just baste it.
So basically you had it on high, medium high, you brought it to a boil, you moved it down to like, kind of like a medium low, I guess you call it.
Yes, and it depends on your burners, obviously. If they are strong like this one, then medium low.
But you do want to boil right now. You want it to
Well, you want it to simmer, because you want to cook the peppers, you want to cook the meat. The rice was already cooked.
Yeah.
And if the rice was uncooked when we put this in, I would definitely keep it on a lower temperature.
Okay.
Because it would want to go a little longer.
Okay. Okay. Great.
But you want to, you continue to baste it just to keep it moist and to get that flavor on the meat. And
Lovely.
this also helps cook the meat on top.
Yeah, this is so different than how I ever had it.
And again, this may not be the real authentic way of doing it, but it's a variation, and you know what? Whatever works.
Well, that's right. That's what we're doing. We're doing different ways of making things.
And in the meantime, we can wet some cracker bread, lavash bread, cracker bread. These are the mini rounds, because a lot of times it comes in those big.
Yeah. Where do you get your mini rounds?
Valley lavash.
Okay.
So you just wet this, put it under, and wet as many as you'd like.
Okay.
And then you just put it on a paper towel.
Okay.
Cover it.
Okay.
And let it soften.
Okay.
Because you use this as kind of your dipper.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So.
All right. Well, listen. Here. Cheers.
Cheers.
So I want to ask you a question, because you mentioned your grandma when you brought out the lemon. And I know your grandma's name was Florence, and my grandma's name was Florence, and then of course my daughter's name is Florence. So tell me a little bit about your grandma. What do you remember about your grandma?
Oh my gosh. I will tell you that I wished I would have picked her brain a lot more growing up. I wasn't into cooking back then when she was alive. I was just obviously into enjoying everything.
Me too. Me too.
Anyhow, but she was just a wonderful, warm woman. She raised a family on her own. She had her parents help her, but she lost her husband early. I think she was 41, and she had just had their last child. So she did it all on her own. But she raised 4 amazing kids and loved to cook, loved to always have people around. The table is where she made everyone feel super comfortable, and I miss that.
Yeah.
Because we would always do family dinners.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
on
my
Sunday.
grandma's too. I know, so I was talking to my dad this morning, and what he remembers most about your grandmother was that your great-grandparents would be over, and everyone would be always around the table, and she was always cooking, and she was very excitable. That's what he said. She was an excitable lady. And he said...
And she didn't drink. So this was not something that...
she was naturally energetic.
Yeah.
And he said that he felt like he would always think it was like the ideal family going over there, because it's amazing how she was able to create that feeling.
Well, she had her parents there.
Yeah.
So her father acted as a father figure. So he was always there.
And my grandpa Ed grew up with her parents, I believe, the Malikians, right?
Yes.
Yes. Downtown Fresno. Small world, right?
I know.
So, and I know you brought her little notebook.
One of her many notebooks. Kathy, my aunt, her daughter, had pretty much all of her notes and cooking cookbooks and cooking notes and so forth.
Look how vintage this cover is.
I know.
Is it cool?
I know. And it's just, and she even has notes. She was a doodler. She doodled on everything. But Kathy lost a lot of her, she lost her Bible, a lot of her spiral notebooks, her cookbooks when their house burnt. Oh. So this is not the actual one that I thought I had, but anyway, it'll do. It does, it's a nice reflection of her because it shows, this one actually just has things that she enjoyed. So she would cut and paste.
Good.
Sounds good. And then I don't know if this is
someone's phone number. Yeah.
Attention.
Pay attention. The strawberry shortcake looks good. I want to make it sometime.
Attention. It's so funny. And then for Xmas.
Try for Christmas.
Funny. And she did this in her Bible too. She would write notes. In fact, Kathy said it was probably a good thing that Bible burnt because there were things in that Bible.
Oh, that's interesting.
I must try.
So
there's just, these are fun. These aren't actually her recipes, but these are things that she enjoyed doing.
Oh, I love the old pictures too.
And she cut and paste. So and one of us probably scribbled on that.
Oh, look, here's a Christmas menu from some years. So tell us what she served.
She served roast beef, crab and shrimp cocktails, subaragi, which is kind of the Armenian version of lasagna. Okay. That would be fun to cook too.
Do you know how to make it?
No.
Okay.
All right. But I mean, I could learn.
I bet you could. Okay.
Pilaf, salad, pickles, olives, yalon cheese, which is another thing that we have to do. Pies, pastries, and soda drinks.
Okay, she served a huge Christmas dinner. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So just lots of fun. Persimmon cookies, good.
Yes, I love persimmon cookies.
So she would just have all kinds. And then this is one of her yalanchi recipes. So this is actually a authentic recipe of hers, along with tabbouleh salad. So I like these because they were done in her writing.
Yes.
So this wasn't a replica that says someone actually.
Oh, look, and she drew a picture of it. Oh, how beautiful.
So funny.
So this is like a real treasure that you have this. Oh, look, be sure and try.
Be sure and try, very good. And there are a couple of things in here that she said she didn't like.
Oh, really? Oh, she gave it a bad review?
Bad reviews. Anyhow, this was just, she actually taped a book in here. This is a recipe book.
Did you know I collect these books? They're all in my office at work. These old Betty Crocker style books.
Funny.
I think they're so cool.
I mean, they're just 300 sensational salads. Anyway, I will always have forever. I just love this.
But remind me, do you know what part of Armenia they came from?
Beetless.
From Beetless.
Yes, and that it's actually Turkey now.
Okay.
But they were from Beetless.
Okay, and that was your great grandparents?
My great grandparents, and they came over here and moved to Biola, which is Kerman. Okay. Kerman area. And then that's where my grandmother was born.
Do you know when they came? No.
Well, if she was born in 1920, it had to have been
right around. Were they like refugees? Was it during the genocide? Did they come before?
I think they came before.
Oh, they got out before.
I think they came before.
Nice. I'm so glad for them.
So,
I think my great grandpa Sarkis also came
before.
Before 1910 he came. Yeah.
Okay, so let's baste again. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is I love it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you're just again moistening. They smell so good.
Can you smell them?
Oh yeah, and there's nothing like a little bit of oil can get your taste buds
right,
going.
And break out in a sweat between the steam of this. And at this point, you may want to just taste it. See if you want to adjust the seasonings. Add a little more butter, a little more lemon.
Okay.
So we'll do that now. Careful, it's
good looking. It's hot. Yeah.
It'll be hot. Jamee. See, now I always like a little more lemon.
Okay. See, I do too. Put more lemon in it. I can tell you right now.
Yeah, we can add a little more of the lemon. Just because of the tang.
I love tangy. I'm always down for more lemon.
And then we can add a little more pepper because I always like a little more heat too.
All right.
And we can just wait. So in the meantime, you just
You chill.
You chill and drink more.
So when do you know it's ready? Like, how do you know? Do you put it to a certain temperature? Do you want me to get out my digital thermometer? Like, how do you?
We can do that. We can do the digital thermometer. I mean, I usually just let it go for about an hour and I know it's done, but we could do the thermometer and then we'll know.
My husband, he used to work at a Starbucks, so he's all about food safety. So he's taught me like never to serve chicken until I've like tested it. And
I don't even know what the right temperature is for 160 is poultry.
Oh yeah, that's more than ready then.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this is not something that you're going to serve. You know, you have to worry about it, serving it medium rare. So it's hamburgers. So.
That's right.
And this can be done with turkey. You can do it with chicken. You can do it with pork. You can do it with lamb. You can do it with a combination. I've done it with lamb and beef combo.
Oh, how'd that come out?
It was good.
I bet
it was very good. But not everybody likes lamb, so you just have to be careful with that.
Okay, but it was kind of like a lula, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if it's ready, then what do we do?
Well, we can take a small one out, and we can get out the yogurt.
Okay.
Yogurt, again, that's a personal preference. You don't have to use yogurt, but I like the yogurt.
They call it matzoon, right? Do you guys call it matzoon?
Matzoon, but isn't matzoon with the cucumbers and?
No, that's zhazha.
Oh, yes, see? Okay, matzoon is just plain yogurt. Yeah. All right.
So if I serve something without matzoon, my dad's always a little disappointed.
Oh, that's funny.
He's like, oh, you didn't bring matzoon? I'm like, oh, sorry. Oh.
You didn't bring yogurt?
I don't go crazy for yogurt myself, but I know a lot of people do, so we should definitely have it.
All right, we'll take a small one here and we'll do a little test.
Okay, and I'll just get out this plain, I got plain low-fat yogurt. I know you said either full-fat or low-fat, right?
Mm-hmm.
No non-fat for this group.
No non-fat for this group.
No. Okay.
I'm using all your utensils
here. Yes,
too.
go for it. Wow, so you really make it almost soupy.
Kind of a soupy. And at this point, you know, you could add the pilaf in there. A lot of people do like the pilaf.
Okay.
We didn't do pilaf.
Oh, then you cut it up a little bit.
You cut it up, open it up.
Yeah. Oh, snap.
And then just serve it with a little dollop of yogurt there. Oh. And your cracker bread. And there's your meal.
Oh, that looks so good. Mm.
Right there.
Oh, wait, let me smell it.
There you go.
Oh, divine.
And then, here you go. Complete it.
You're
so set.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This was so much fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed
it. I'm in the mood for love. Who's the mood for olives and love letters? I am. Join me next time for an olive picking session with Jeff Dervision while we go through his grandparents' love letters. We look forward to seeing you again at Jules' Armenian Kitchen. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.